everybody. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Howdy toddy. As per usual, the Dawgs just went down. Not only did they go down, I got dominated here in Oxford. Right now it's 28-10. Game's not even over yet. It looks pretty over to me, though. 18 points. How about it? I don't even know if Georgia's going to make the playoff. Sooner says, Dawgs lose, America wins. Yeah, come on, it's over, buddy. It is over. How about Lane Kiffin? Never again will we call him that other whiffing thing. That is not attached to him anymore. They finally won a big game. Now, even if Billy Napier could lose every game by 50 points, they're not landing Lane Kiffin, not this year, because I think Ole Miss going to the college football playoff. I called it. Called my shot right after they lost to LSU, got mocked, but now they get Florida. Florida, I mean, we just saw Florida. They're awful. In fairness, they're down. They were down to their third-string quarterback. But Ole Miss, if you could just win that one, State's the worst team. I think they're about to lose by about 40 points to Tennessee, and Ole Miss is in. And Ole Miss probably not going to go to the SEC championship. That's probably an advantage. So, man, how about it? Everything Lane Kiffin, unless they shit the bed here at the end, unless that happens, they're in. Michael Riley says, we're dogs. Exactly. So you ain't losing to Florida. I don't care where that game's played. They're not losing the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State's even worse than Florida. Florida whooped Mississippi State. So, how about Carson Beck? I didn't like all the critiques of his draft grade. I don't know what that's got to do with the game. But, yeah, he's not it. And I never have I been a Carson Beck defender. I don't even think this game was about Carson Beck. I think it was about Ole Miss defensive front dominating Georgia and their offensive front. What happened to Georgia on the offensive line? Defensive line, they couldn't even get after Jackson Dart, who's playing on one leg. He's making them look foolish. Now we got one hell of a game next weekend, Tennessee at Georgia. Could Georgia miss the playoff? We'll see what Tennessee looks like tonight. But if they win big, Tennessee may be a popular pick to go into Athens and beat Georgia. Shout out JR. What a guy. What a guy. Cousin Shane's not here, but JR is. We appreciate you, buddy. He just gifted a membership to Brian Houston. Brian, welcome to the family. I hope you're an Ole Miss fan, because if not, well, it would just mean a little bit more to me if you were right now. But, yeah, howdy toddy, Tim. How about these Ole Miss Rebels? I can't get it. I can't get over it. I mean, they finally, all the people calling them out for spending all this money in the portal, and it was going to blow up in their face, and losing to Kentucky, which was awful. Each week that's looking worse and worse and worse. But no one cares. No one gives a shit, because you just beat Georgia. And now, again, you didn't beat Georgia. You whooped their ass. Let's call it what it is. Ole Miss needs to skyrocket up the rankings. Where were they? Let's do a quick projection here. This is what the playoff rankings look like on Tuesday. Ole Miss on the outside looking in at the 16 seed. Georgia all the way at the Georgia's not there anymore. Georgia's probably going to get knocked to you got to think they'll be ahead of Texas, right? Because Texas, they smoked them in Austin. So Georgia's probably not going to drop more than to maybe 5, if I'm guessing. Maybe 6. I don't know how they'll do that. But Ole Miss, you have to put them in now. Kick Notre Dame out. Kick Alabama. Oh, God. I would kick out Alabama also. Well, hell, they may kick out themselves here in a minute when they're playing LSU. But this race has just got a hell of a lot more interesting, and we could legitimately be sitting here. I hope it doesn't happen for Dog fans, because I do want to see this playoff with Georgia. But Georgia may, if they lose next week, they're done. They're done. And then what does this look like? I mean, that would be wild, wouldn't it? How about Jackson Dart outplaying Carson Beck on one leg? That was incredible. Hell, I thought Austin Simmons looked better than Carson Beck. Florida could have used Austin Simmons, but coulda, shoulda, woulda today. How about this? Jackson Dart even led Ole Miss in rushing. What the heck? That's incredible. He is probably going to be SEC Offensive Player of the Week. I'll just tell you now. Jacob, appreciate you. He says A&M's now number one. What are the playoff and SEC chances? Is that right? Yeah. Let's see. I don't think they update the standings that quickly, but let's go to our standings here. Let's see what that's at. Yeah, I mean Texas number one. Man, yeah, this result really helps A&M, probably helps Texas as well, and hell, maybe even LSU. If LSU can get it done against Alabama, which I predicted, which means probably be Alabama. But yeah, this is huge news for A&M. Now they're sole possession, number one in the SEC. Thank you, Cousin Jacob, for bringing that to my attention. But man, this just continues the wild season that is. It's almost like COVID, where anything goes. Even Lane Kiffin can win a big game in 2024. This is amazing. Cousin Brian, appreciate you. He says, amazing Rebel win, hotty toddy. And again, they're in there. We may have to have Miami lost. Anybody that missed it, that was glorious. They suck. ACC's only getting one team. The Big 12 doesn't even deserve a team, but unfortunately they're going to get one in. We're almost at the point where the SEC deserves 5 teams in this playoff. I mean, who are we kicking out? Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Texas, Alabama, Vanderbilt just got, and hell, South Carolina's red hot. Ole Miss is heating up. 5 may not even cut it, but I don't think it's possible to get 6 in there. But the SEC should get at least 5. Based on what we just witnessed. And Michael Riley says, I miss COVID year. Last time we had a winning record. Oh, I feel sorry for you, man. It's rough out there. It is rough. But I still can't get over this. I mean, this was not even a competitive ball game. This was, and I thought Ole Miss was going to shit the bed early. Jackson Dart got hurt. He threw a bad pick. Georgia scored immediately. I tweeted it out. Old Takes is probably going to get me tonight. I said, oh, God, this looks like another Georgia beatdown. And that's what it looked like 3 plays into the game. But other than that, I mean, Ole Miss was completely dominant. They look like they could win a national championship. And I don't think that's too bold to say. Doesn't mean that they are guaranteed to do it, but it's all about, in this 12-team model, I think it's about who's the hottest going into the playoff. And you could argue, in this wonky year, who's going to be hotter than Ole Miss going into the end of the SEC and into the playoff. Almost doubled Georgia's total yardage here. This is Ole Miss averaged 6.2 yards per play. Georgia averaged 3.8. God, got sacked 5 times. Ole Miss only gave up 1 sack. Georgia's only touchdown, again, only touchdown was set up on a short yards. They only had to go 21 yards, first series of the game, and they got it done. And they didn't do shit the rest of the game. Credit Pete Golding. How about all these Alabama fans that were rated on Pete Golding's demise, his grave, and now his defense is twice as good as Alabama's defense, and Alabama's got better players. How about it? Oh, Pete Golding deserves a raise. Hell, he may be coaching himself into a head coaching position before long. That shouldn't be lost in all this. All the Lane Kiffin praise. Pete Golding deserves a hell of a lot of praise for what he just did to Georgia's offense there. I mean, and I know, see, Georgia's banged up. I mean, we could say that with just about anybody after they lose, but they have a better roster. They should be more competitive than this. I wish Shane was here so he could kind of laugh at him too, but he is drunk as hell in old Faro Field. They're waiting for this Missouri-Oklahoma game. Any questions here before there's so much football kicking off here. I want to jump off here in just a second. I just want to get my thoughts out here, but I can't get over this. Ole Miss likely going to the college football playoff now. Georgia may not. Mm-mm-mm. I can't believe this. This is stunning. This is stunning. Over under, cousin Terrence, appreciate you. Shane, over under 12 beer. Oh, he knocked that out by 3 o'clock. It's well past 6 here. He is well past that. Yeah. Oh, appreciate you, cousin Glenn. Another excellent point. Ole Miss did this without Trey Harris. He's still not in, and hell, they did it with all the running backs banged up too. So, cousin Nick says, "Is Georgia loss good or bad for A&M?" It's great for A&M. It was fantastic. Cousin Ken says, "This is the biggest Ole Miss win since Archie Manning." Could be right. I mean, beating Saban a couple years ago, that was pretty epic too. Hotty toddy. Man, what a time. What a time for them Ole Miss Rebels. I don't know where I'm going to put them in the power rankings, but they're going to be pretty high up the list. I can just give you that little preview right there. Anything else to react to real quick? I mean, South Carolina, they're looking good. Whipping the hell out of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's really banged up. 28-7. Shout out the Gamecocks. No one's whooped Vanderbilt's ass this year. Not Alabama, not Texas. Literally no one has whooped Vanderbilt's ass, but the Gamecocks are doing it. Again, if the Gamecocks 21 point on the road up right now, could be by more by the end of the game. If they're winning all these games by 3 touchdowns or more, but they deserve to go in the playoff too. So they're not eliminated. And of course, Texas whooped the shit out of Florida. So Texas is looking good. But Texas A&M, that's probably going to be an elimination game for one of these. Oh, I love it. But all right, yeah, this is a quick one. Again, I just want to jump on here, dance on Georgia's grave. They're not done yet. But if they play like they did today, they do that against next week. I don't care if the game's in Athens. Tennessee is capable of doing the same damn thing. They've got a defense just as good as Ole Miss. They run the same offense, and they're healthier than Ole Miss right now. So that's going to be a hell of a game. That could be an elimination for Tennessee and Georgia. According to some of the ESPN people, Tennessee needs to go 11-1 to make the playoff. And Alabama I think they can go 8-4, they said, or 9-3. They're a bunch of idiots. That's why you should listen to this show and not that one. We don't even say stuff that stupid while we're drinking. You know what? So, yeah, we'll be back. Well, I'll be back. Shane's not going to be back. He's 3 sheets to the wind here. I'll be back with the power rankings as soon as all the games are done. But I just want to say, hotty toddy, Ole Miss, you got it done. First time that Georgia's lost to anybody not named Alabama since 2020. I mean, this is incredible here. This is 2024 we're talking. Hell of a win, program-defining win. Everything you did, you put in this program in NIL, getting players to come back, coaching hirings. It was all set for this season to make the playoff. You're well on your way. You haven't locked it up. You just got to finish business. You can't shit the bed. This is the year of shitting the bed, apparently. Got 2 games left at Florida, Mississippi State at home. Just win those by 1 point each. You're in the college football playoff. I think he could whoop both those teams' asses. We'll see. We'll see about DJ Lagway if he's able to go. That could change the things, but great day for Ole Miss. Rough day for Georgia. Georgia may have gotten exposed here. And again, Georgia looked fantastic against Texas. They looked fantastic for a half against Clemson and roughly a half against Alabama. But they have not put together a full game. And I don't know that we're going to see them do it. I really don't. Tough day. Tough day for the Dawgs, but they'll bounce back. Probably, maybe. Who knows? But you know who doesn't need to bounce back is that old Ole Miss. So, again, I'm going to jump off here. I'm getting too excited. And get locked into the power rankings here coming as soon as all these games are done. But I just want to give a shout out to Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding.